Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Let me tell you about a big show I have coming up on December 10th, Tuesday night. We'll be out at Naked Vine. This is my monthly singer-songwriter storytelling showcase happening every second Tuesday of the month. And we'll be out there again December 10th with Jackson, Stokes, Caroline, Steinkamp, and Alexander Rui. This is an intimate listening room experience. 3 writers sitting on stools, playing their songs acoustic, sharing stories behind them. And it's a lot of fun. 7 p.m. start, $10 at the door. We'll get you in. And if you haven't been out to Naked Vine yet, you're missing out. Come on by, check it out, and find out for yourself why it's called the best city bar in the county. You can find everything at nakedvine.net. Be sure to follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And they're always serving up the best wine, whiskey, tequila, and local craft beers. Stop by Thursday, November 14th, as my good friend Nick Gussman takes the stage. Friday, November 15th, John Bonham and Friends. And Saturday, November 16th, the Ross Bell Band. Again, all this and more at nakedvine.net. Also want to give a quick shout out to Heil Sound. Check them out at heilsound.com today. Get yourself some new gear. Been loving this new microphone I have. I'm recording this intro on it right now. And so been having a ton of fun with this microphone. Pick yourself up one while you're over there at heilsound.com. Also, want to give a quick shout out to Joseph Meyer Club. They've been a big part of this show for a while now. And if you haven't been over there yet, go visit josephmeyerclub.com and pick up some of their brand new foaming aftershave. There's always free shipping over there. And if you enter my code RPPJMC20 during checkout, you can receive an exclusive 20% off of your order. Again, that's RPPJMC20 at josephmeyerclub.com. All right, everybody. I hope you're all digging this brand new intro you're about to hear. There's a big shout out to Michael Bivens and Dubflow for helping making this possible. And also, if you're interested, I do have hats and shirts for sale. If you would be interested in one, feel free to email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Feel free to just write me a message, say, hey, you're enjoying the show, or you have some suggestions or anything. I would love to hear from you. But thank you all for listening. Hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
This is Sean Conway, and you listen to Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
I've seen plenty familiar faces, they just come in different shades. Seems like everybody knows me, they might even know my name. I don't bother with it much, I just share it with the sea. And I share the road with all sorts of folks and places that they gotta be. Well, I take another turn and I sing another song. Oh Lord, I know someday I'll grow roots if I can live that long. Oh well, I can't tell the future, yeah, but I can tell the time. And I hear that ticket from the clock, so I'll be a while sticking by. I hear plenty familiar voices and stories about the same. Well, the details get a little muddy, but we all got something to tame. Got a monkey on their back or a trick hidden up their sleeve. Well, we sing around in the choir till they close the place around 3. Well, the music never stops, it just echoes all around. And Lord, I can hear it humming somewhere deep down in the ground. Oh, well, I can't tell the future, yeah, but I can tell the time. And I hear that ticket from the clock, so I'll be here while it's ticking by. Well, I feel it all around me. It's like there's something in the air, and it all seems so familiar, like there's something to compare. Well, there's talk about the weather and sights we've never seen. It's like anything can happen, and it ain't waiting up for me. But oh, I wanna see it all, so I go diving in the depths. Lord, I hope they don't put me in a box till I breathe my last breath. Oh, well, I can't tell the future, yeah, but I can tell the time. And I hear that ticket from the clock, so I'll be here while it's ticking by.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with Sean Conway.
Hey, it's me. It's Sean.
Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you very much.
This is cool, man. I was kind of telling you a bit off mic, and I start about every show this way, and but so if it's your first time or maybe you've heard this about 100 times, but I think what I love most about doing this show is getting to continually meet new people. And this is the same. That's the case today, man. This is our first time getting to hang out.
Yeah.
We were connected through a mutual friend, Mr. Brad Jackson.
Yeah. Shout out to Brad.
Yeah.
He's the man.
He said, I think this would be a fun episode. So if it goes terrible, we just blame Brad.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's his fault.
So no, man, we've been having a great time hanging out. Obviously, I feel like we already have a lot in common, so I think we'll be great friends by the end of this episode. But this was, like I said, it's just fun to continually meet people doing cool stuff in our city, and getting to actually meet people instead of just through the internet and stuff like that. So
Yeah, man. Face to face.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm pretty brand new to what Sean Conway is up to. So I like also just kind of, like I did a little bit of homework, just like I watched one of your videos you had, or two of your videos. And
that's them.
Yeah. And then, but I like just getting the story right from you, just like getting to know, let you tell your story as it is. So you did say something, you're not originally from St. Louis. You moved here a few years back now?
Yeah. I moved here from Columbia, Missouri. That's where I went to school, graduated from Mizzou and all that. We moved around a lot when I was growing up. I was born in Florida, lived in Kansas City really early on. Don't really remember it too well. Spent a lot of my time living in Kennesaw, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, and then moved up to North Georgia, and then we moved back and forth from like the Ozarks, Houston, Missouri, back and forth to Atlanta a couple times before we were finally like, okay, Houston, Missouri it is. Lived there for a while, moved to another town, Mountain Grove, and then moved back to Houston. Moved back up, and then there was Columbia.
Yeah. Was it like your parents' work or something, or?
No, just Rolling Stones, man.
Yeah.
Just moving around.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, man. I've been lived in the same town all my life.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
So then, which high schools are the best high schools?
Yeah. That's like
the thing here in town. Like everybody always asks you where you went to high school at and stuff, and it's a very St. Louis thing apparently. Not a lot of other places even give a shit about your high school, but they. But I work, so I went to Wentzville School District, and I work out there now, and I don't know if they're the best, but they constantly get rated among the highest in the state and stuff as like the fastest growing and and all the stuff out there, and so they're very good. I know that, but I don't know what exactly the ranking is and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, man. See, that blows my mind because I mean, you've known people probably that you've known your entire life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's crazy to think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's people. I mean, we went to elementary, and I mean, whatever, and or even before that, I've been a lot of them still live here around the area and stuff. So it's pretty wild, man. It's nice to have that, and I think at times, but then I'm also like, I think it would be nice to do some traveling and meeting other people around the world and stuff too, and not just stuck in my own little world and in my own small town and stuff. So, but that's kind of the fun too of the show. Like I said, just getting out and meeting people that way too. So,
yeah,
constantly meeting, and I work at a bar and constantly meeting people there and stuff. So,
yeah,
I get to get a little bit of that. But I think just being that young and stuff, starting out, like you either got to learn to adapt or kind of stay in your own little bubble in your room or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I probably did a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I had these army men, like hundreds of them, and I would just set them all up. It would take like a whole afternoon to set them all up, and then I would basically just knock all those fuckers down, man. But man, I got really lucky, I think, living in outside Atlanta. In Atlanta, whenever I was really young, because I did get to meet all sorts of different people all at once, and I always wonder, like, I wonder what they're doing right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I am like knowing somebody so long, you kind of see them going like a certain direction, wherever they're trying to do, But it'd be interesting to just like pop in and be like, oh wow,
Sure.
What are you doing here?
Yeah. Was that you said something early too about spending a lot of time listening to a lot of 90s hip hop, G-funk rap and stuff. You said something about that off mic, and
Definitely.
Atlanta, has got a very booming hip hop community and stuff. Was that any influence?
Oh man,
being around that time.
Probably to some extent. I do remember, like, right when I moved out of Atlanta, that was right when Get Low was huge.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm missing out. Like, I'm like 12 or something like that. Like, I'm not going to any clubs or anything, but I'm like, damn, like, Get Low just got me. But, no, I think what it stemmed from was me just learning guitar in the first place. The first song I learned was "The Friend of the Devil" by the Grateful Dead, and my dad got me a guitar, and then he got me like a songbook where I could learn chords and learn songs. And so I started reading about these guys, these like classic rock guys, and what their story was. Like guys like Eric Clapton. Pink Floyd's a big one. Reading about Neil Young and what he was all doing, and but then I started reading about their influences, and then from there I kind of worked my way up through the genres. And whenever I was living down in Houston, Missouri, I remember there was this documentary. It was something like "And You Don't Stop," like 25 years of hip hop, something like that. And they got to the 90s, and Nothing But a G Thing came on, and I was just like, whoa, like the vibe hit me, you know what I mean? That, like, the music, that's what always got me, man. Another one like that is Cream by the Wu-Tang Clan. And I remember I heard that one when I was living in Atlanta, like I was on the TV, on MTV or something, but I just never really listened to it. And then And then it came back whenever I started, doing all this, research. I was like, oh man, it clicked. Like it blew my mind. So it's, I was listening to all those, what I consider classics, while also listening to, the classic rock genre, as I was like,
Sure.
well,
then you probably
developing my palate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I'm with you on that. Like I'm all over. I love a lot of that 90s era hip hop, and I love the classic rock stuff. So I think it's funny though, like if you listen enough of it, you start picking up on where all the samples come from too. So that's one of my favorite things is like, I've been, one of my favorite examples is that, Regulators, Warren G and Nate Dogg, and but they use that hook of Michael McDonald's.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
You know what? Probably my favorite one is probably Eddie Kendrick's "Intimate Friends."
Yeah.
That music, that beginning, has been used in just. I probably couldn't even count on my hands how many songs that's used. That one's a big classic. That one's the first one that comes to mind, just because, again, whenever I heard that, I was like suddenly, like all these boom, 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 lights were going off. Like, whoa, that's that song.
Yep.
Yeah, it's such cool stuff. And that's why I think sampling is so sweet, where they, you can put something, like pull something from there and just make it into its own thing, its own sort of vibe, man.
Right.
Actually, I think it's kind of similar. I like taking a good sample is just like really getting into a good vibe, like in a deep jam to a Grateful Dead song to me. You know what I mean? Like once you get that, just like that perfect like thing right there. And it just goes and goes and goes.
For sure.
It could go on forever as far as I'm concerned, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think that's what's fun. Like there's just that common thread between it all of music, it's like it's all, a lot of these guys that all started because that's all they had was these, like Run DMC sampled that Aerosmith, the whole Walk This Way thing and all that, like they had all they had with these records of old classic rock bands, and like they would scratch them and mix, and that's how they started creating their own beats and stuff before they had all these computers to do it and stuff. And so it's fun to know that those guys, even as MCs and things, I still have the history of music and stuff, like learning all that different stuff, even like I say in the Grateful Dead and whatever, so on, just like you did too. So
yeah, man. And geez, I can't imagine like putting records and making them sound like anything but just noise. You know what I mean? Like to really do something like that, that takes a lot of time, like to get it right.
Right. Yeah, man. Well, that let's get into some of your stuff. Maybe you said your dad bought the first guitar. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So my dad played guitar, and I started picking it up, kind of hanging around, and he taught me a few songs, and I got them down, and he decided, okay, I'll get you this, but we made a deal that I had to really stick with it. I had to get a book, I'd learn the chords, I'd learn some songs. Like he didn't want to just collect dust, so I was like, yeah, all right, that's no problem. Like I would just, sitting down for a few hours, just fucking around on the guitar, trying to learn a song or playing around with some sounds. I could do that all day. It's easy. So, but it fucking wasn't. What am I saying? Oh my God, that first year was so frustrating. The song "Tears in Heaven" by Eric Clapton, I was trying to learn that one, trying to read the tablature, because reading notes at that point was just, that was like a pipe dream. The tablature, just trying to figure out that, without having really any idea what chords I was playing. I would probably sit the guitar down for, months maybe, until I would pick it up again and not be so pissed off.
Right.
I learned quickly, to space things out, spend just a little bit of time on this, move to something else.
Sure.
Well,
that's pretty ambitious early on to trying to play Grateful Dead and Clapton. I mean, those are some of the greats and stuff to like, even to trying to read tabs to do it and stuff. But like, you know, it was obviously Clapton's considered one of the greatest, you know, and stuff, guitar players and things. So it's, but I think it's cool to see that, you know, you had a goal and you did stick with it, though. You're still doing it today. And
yeah, good investment on my dad's part. You know,
thanks, Dad.
Yeah, for sure.
What were you write? Were you around that time? Did you start writing too, or did that all come later? And then?
Oh man, I don't really know when I first started writing. You know, I was learning plenty of covers, and like, I was just so into just getting them exactly, like trying to get them as close to how they sound on the radio. You know, that was my whole thing. Like, I gotta play them like you hear them. And there was a lot of songs I loved that I just didn't play because it wouldn't come close to me. You know, whenever I thought about it, just playing with an acoustic guitar. But eventually, I think it probably just came around to just fucking around on chords and then just coming up with words. And doing them through the years, man, I've written a lot of bad songs, but, you know.
Do you remember your first one?
The first one? Yeah. Yeah. It was, I think I might have made this one in my buddy's attic. We were like, 14 or 15 at the time, like just, drinking and being just, you know, assholes, you know, normal, I think 14-year-old dude stuff. A lot of Guitar Hero.
There you go.
This guy actually, he could play Slow Ride with the TV off. He just put it all together.
Yeah.
But I must have written it up there. And it was about going to party down by the river, basically. But I was trying to sing it so it wouldn't get picked up by like any parents or teachers that might be around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was trying to have it like people read between the lines with the songs.
Right.
Yeah, that version.
There you go. Any recordings of that?
No, dude. I didn't even really think about recording until maybe 3 years ago, something like that. Maybe probably about the same time I started playing out. So about 2 years ago. Up until now, it was just something to do at a party. You know what I mean? Like I would much prefer, you know, kind of hanging out, playing the songs and along the sideline at a party situation, especially if there's more people with instruments where you can just really jam. Like always been about jamming. That's the big thing. I always wanted to make sure I could improvise when I needed to. So,
yeah, I think I mentioned something about Stern to you off mic, Howard Stern, and that's one thing. Like, obviously, his father was in radio, and they had, you know, recording studios and equipment and different stuff around the house. But he has like all sorts of tapes of him, like, you know, as a 8, 9, 10 or something, like whatever it was, like as a little kid recording like these shows that he was putting on and stuff, like with his dolls and different, you know, like he had, and it's all it's like all documented. It's just like crazy to think about that. Like he has like so much of this stuff like archived, like just him as a kid, like being creative and stuff, like, and so it's just like I don't know. So even that was good, you know, 60 years ago almost or whatever, and like to think that like we have now, you know, the modern version of that is like the YouTube. You know, we have like kids making videos all the time on YouTube, and it's all just documented or podcast or whatever it is. But
yeah, for better or for worse.
Yeah,
sometimes,
it's all it's all out there for not saying it's all quality, but but it's just, you know, that's the nice thing is like you're just having all this stuff documented now and stuff. But
yeah, I'm just glad so far. Like I don't have something of like me injuring myself really badly, like doing something stupid on the internet yet. Yeah, I've dodged that bullet so far.
Well, let's drop in one of your tunes. Let them hear what you've been up to. This is we did some live acoustic jams here in the living room, and let's start with "Live Forever." Anything you want tell me about this tune.
It's a brand new one. Wrote it probably about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Adam, my roommate, kind of helped me write it as well. It's a really fun one to me. There was just one verse that, like, whenever it came to me, like, I just kind of built the song around it. But yeah, I hope people like it.
To the highest peak and the swimming oceans down into the deepest reach. A lot of people don't feel the need to roam. Don't got it in them, they're just missing that bone. Don't know about you, but I'm somewhere in between. Don't need no plaque or statue sculpted just for me, but I wouldn't mind. A lot of people say they wanna live forever, but they really only want to be remembered. But I don't care if I get buried in the sands of time, long as I got you right by my side. A lot of people can't seem to stand the weather, talking summer in the middle of December. A lot of people got some bottles about to burst, but you hardly hear them say a single word. Don't know about you, but I'm somewhere in between. Don't need no plaque or statue sculpted just for me, but I wouldn't mind. A lot of people say they want to live forever, but they really only want to be remembered. But I don't care if I get buried in the sands of time, long as I got you right by my side. A lot of people think the sky started falling, building bunkers, locking up all their belongings. A lot of people too numb to be sure, everything outside the bubble's just a blur. Don't know about you, but I'm somewhere in between. Don't need no plaque or statue sculpted just for me, but I wouldn't mind. A lot of people say they want to live forever, but they really only want to be remembered. But I don't care if I get buried in the sands of time, long as I got you right by my side.
Is that how it works a lot of times for you, or you just do you everything different every time? Like,
it varies.
Yeah.
It varies. There's been a few times where where I think's like a catchy line or a good pair of lines would come together, and then I'll just kind of, try to build a story around that.
sure.
Sometimes it's just, what's the word I'm thinking of? It just kind of comes out. Like, I'll just start a line and then I start filling it in after that, and then move things around so that the story fits. You know what I mean? It's all over the place.
Sure. I have a working theory. I've never been able to fully apply it myself, but I feel like, especially in more country music, that if you hang out with like an old man long enough, like they just like speak in like hooks of songs. Like they have these,
Yeah.
they have like so many of these sayings and whatever it might be. And we're like, man, that's the hook right there. That one line that's like, and put that in the chorus and build around that and stuff. And
Yeah.
but like I feel like there's so many like those kind of things. Like, so hopefully someday I'll be able to find that one particular phrase and line that jumps out to me like that, and make it work and test my theory.
Yeah, make a hit record.
Yeah, man.
Hit record experiment.
Yep.
That sounds like a good one.
Right. So that's my goal. Hopefully we'll get there one of these days. I think it'd be fun. I don't know. I really a big fan of songwriting and how
Yeah.
and the I mean it's interesting to me how like everybody has their own way of doing it, but it always works out. So
Do you think you'll ever get around to it? Do you think you'll start writing a song sooner than later?
I mean, I think someday. I just nothing really like fully. I don't know. I don't know. I just never had that like spark, like that moment where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna write a song about this. Like, I've definitely had heartbreak, and I've been in love, and I am in love. I'm been married 5 years now and stuff. But it's like, so I've had those moments like which is a lot of people write about, falling in love or falling out of love.
Yeah.
But nothing's like told me I need to like grab a pen and paper and start writing about it and stuff. So I just never had built that muscle to be able to apply it. But hopefully that's my goal someday, is to try to. I really enjoy that world, and like I said, the stories and that these people tell about these songs and everything else. So hopefully I can get in there and be able to see what I got, some of my thoughts come up with and stuff. But I was kind of telling you about like how for me it's like I listen to so much music, it's hard for me to like shut that off and like just come up with original creative ideas. And
Yeah.
so especially since I don't know anything about music. I mean, I listen to a ton of it, but I don't know anything about chord structure or melody and everything else to like. So I would definitely need a lot of help to phrasing and things, trying to make actually work as songs and stuff. And
Well, you know what, man? I think a good place to start would probably be learning keyboard or guitar. Those are two, I think, are pretty easy to play around with. You can really take them anywhere. But then, once you learn your favorite songs like that I feel like that gets built into you. You know what I mean? Like all the songs I've learned, I feel like they have affected my style and my ear in some way. You know what I mean? And I think that getting that idea of how melodies work can come just more by feeling it than really anything. I mean, like I know chords, but if you put sheet music in front of me, it's all gibberish practically. I could if you let me sit there long enough, like you weren't in a hurry for me to play that song, I could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
But listening to a lot of the songs is really how it kind of ends up working for me.
Right.
As long as they tell me what chords they are, I can work around where I should play them and what pattern, what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah, man, that's what I do. That's like I appreciate about music. Like there are certain rules in a sense, but there's also no rules at times too. People learn in all kinds of different ways, and can figure out how to make music their own way and stuff, even though it's not sheet music or whatever it is, or some people learn by ear and just figure it out and stuff like that. But it's just it's interesting how we all get to the same point. We're recording music and stuff and figure out how it works for them.
Yeah.
So
I think the first important step to really understanding music, playing music, writing music, is just feeling it and getting into the groove and understanding how to play a chord, what's the shape and all that. But then I think the second most important thing would be communicate it. And I think that's whenever really learning how to put out, in writing what you're trying to make it sound like could become extremely helpful. Because once you get, dudes in the same room that are all on that level where they, you give them the chords and tell them how to do it, it's going to get done. But if they had it all right there in their face, or they knew, like they could see right there, and that would cut down on so much time of just like wait, when do we change here? Where do we change? You know what I mean? Or things like that. And that's something I really admire about people who do really understand how to write out music like that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, you can come see Sean live. We have 2 dates coming up real soon. November 15th at the Heavy Anchor with our dear friend Bobby Stevens.
Yeah.
And Kelly
Hoppenjans.
Hoppenjans.
Yes, like Hoppenjans.
There you go.
She says, yes.
She's touring through, is that correct?
Yeah, she's touring through, coming through St. Louis. I actually met Kelly whenever I was playing out in South Carolina. And she was really cool out there. And we had a similar sort of deal, like a showcase deal where there was multiple acts up on stage. And then, she reached out to me a few months back, said, hey, I'm coming through St. Louis. Do you want to play at the Heavy Anchor? And I'm like, well, hell yeah, I've been meaning to reach out to the Heavy Anchor and try to get a gig out here. This is all right. This is great.
There you go.
So I'm really looking forward to that. But she also, she has a cool perspective on her music too. And it's a cool, like, indie rock sound. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. So check that out. Again, November 15th at the Heavy Anchor here in St. Louis, Missouri. And on November 17th, on Sunday, you will be at Off Broadway, one of my favorite rooms in the city, for River City Opry.
Yes.
Hosted by our good buddy Brad Jackson. He helps organize that. And
yes, praise be to Brad.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll have my acoustic out there. You know what I should mention? I'm probably gonna be looping out at Kelly's gig.
Okay.
So I loop guitar, bass, drums. You've seen the video,
Yeah, that's I kind of want to get into some of that. How there are multiple versions of what Sean does and stuff. So like I said, we did some live acoustic jam, which I think is really it's fun because this is like you're saying, this is where it starts. It's like either a guitar or piano for you, and sometimes or a keyboard But I love like the roots of it. Just a guitar and vocals. But the fact that, like you're saying, you do loop, and then now you're putting together a band and stuff, and which there's another video of the band element, and as you guys trying to work on that, build this up and stuff. And but the looping stuff really fascinates me. Like the whole, like you really have to. The timing and just like the fact that you can play multiple instruments and everything else, like it just, I don't know anything about that world, but like watching it is really cool to me. Like,
I agree. Watching it is really cool. Tosh Sultana is a really cool one to watch loop like that. Keller Williams was the guy that inspired me to do it. I was at Summer Camp Music Festival in Chillicothe, Illinois, a few years back, and it was like a late night show at the campfire stage. Keller was looping out there, and man, I was watching the stage and just locked in. You know what I mean? And I was like, damn, I could do something like this. And but like also in awe and like it's totally just amazed by this guy. I was like, I can figure this out. And so I started out with like a little ditto 1 button thing. Now I got a looper that does 3 tracks. I can have 3 different tracks going. And it's just it's so much, but like when it hits, like whenever I got the guitar going and the bass line hits and it just glides right into it, like just perfect loop,
Mm-hmm.
like it's like, oh yeah. It's a blast to do, and I think it's a cool way to have a jam, you know what I mean, a good jam. Which is, my bread and butter. Like I love just, playing some lead on guitar, and I love putting the loops together and and I hope when people see it, they're as amazed at what I'm doing, or excited about what I'm doing, as I was, watching those. You know what I mean? But no, it's gotta be my favorite. But I say that, but man, playing the band, like this band that I've been playing with the last year, which is crazy to say too. It's just crazy how time flies by.
All right.
But we've got some solid songs that we know, and I'm really excited about that because the looping is so cool, but you just can't beat other humans. You know what I mean? Being able to like really stretch out a song and like take it places that really extend it. It's pretty tricky to do on a looper, at least the way I have things wired up. And unless you don't mind, me like looping the same song like 3 times, 3 different ways or something like that. Like, who really has time for that? That you want to hear. You don't want to just watch me play the same. You know what I'm saying. I hardly know what I'm saying at this point, I guess. But
I do find it fun though. Like it is sometimes it takes a minute to build, but like once everything kicks in, like it's really neat to see. So check out the video. There is shot by our buddy Calvin. Shot in a real nice video.
Shout out to Calvin T. Gray.
Yeah, for No Vest, which like I said, really cool. Like backyard. You get to see all the work behind the scenes, like as you're building these loops up and everything, and with the guitar and get a little tasty solo in there and stuff. And
oh yeah.
So yeah, check that out. But we did a little live stripped down version, like just you and acoustic here.
Yeah.
And which I thought was interesting too, like to hear the different side of it also. So anything around No Vest you want to share with us?
Let's see. I wrote this song in a hotel in Iowa. I was watching South Park, the Finger Bang episode, and there's this part where Wendy's trying to get into the Finger Bang band, and there's these tryouts, and so she sings this song. It's like a dirty song, but they replace all they fuck around with the bad words, yeah. and it goes like the farmer, he had a great big flock, and and then he had his cock-a-doodle-doodle, shit like that. Right. I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to rhyme shit, and so I put that together like that.
Yeah,
that's that pattern was inspired by the band Finger Bang.
There you go.
I guess.
Well, I woke up early in the morning, flight already boarded, and I knew that I wouldn't make it. Honestly, I thought I wanted me to be a part of something that I never get to. Seasons can't keep it changing, needed me a break, so I got it booked, but it wasn't meant to be. Twin granite and a tough spot, lay back down on my cot. Still, I knew it was time for me to wait. Still, I knew it was time for me to wait. Now the sunshine coming through my window, painted by my Indonesian lady. I was waiting up for meeting early for the party, even though there's hardly anybody here. I don't mind it if lately I've been on a movie, had no time for too less, but I guess I'll find some if I find myself a roses, getting pinned on my chest, walking around with no vest, cause the last thing I wanna be is fate, cause the last thing I wanna be is fate. Now I spent most of the morning sleeping, don't remember dreaming, so by noon I was at the ticker writing down another memo, watching all the sparrows fly around my house, trying to make it back, counting down until till the sunset, and it's still a while yet. It's alright at the evening, never gonna pay. So I pointing forward to the front of the old chair. Really don't mind how long the trip will take. Really don't mind how long the trip will take. Now the sunshine coming through my window, creeping by my Indonesian lady always waiting up for meeting early for the party. Even though there's hardly anybody here, I don't mind it if the lately I've been on a movie, had no time for two less. But I guess I'll find some if I find myself a rosette, getting pinned on my chest, walking around with no vest. Cause the last thing I wanna be is fake. Cause the last thing I wanna be is fake.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
They're geniuses, I think.
Those guys, that the fact that they're still doing that, like, is insane. The longevity of that show and the fact that they have been able to create as much as they have, like, in the movies and everything else too. And it's like, yeah, those guys are great.
It's interesting commentary that they've had over the years.
For sure.
And man, but I think probably my favorite episode has to be Osimo.
Yeah.
Like those types of episodes where it's just like ridiculous. That and the Okama Game Sphere episode, like those episodes are just perfect.
Yeah.
That's as far as the way I write a South Park song, South Park show episode. Right. Those are two of the best formats.
Yep. Yeah, they. I was actually just quoting some of that the other day. Was the from the movie and stuff with Towley and and all that. Like that's the melody to Funky Town.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. Towley. What an icon.
Some pretty silly shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking, so I kind of wanted to get to know a little bit more personality from you. And is there anything as far as like TV wise? Do you get into much reality TV or movies or any? What are you watching these days?
I spend a lot of time, practicing down in my basement. That's where I got all my loop and shit, and then writing songs here and there, or playing the acoustic. So whenever I do watch TV, I can never really commit to shows that often, like
right.
general, like, 20-minute, 40-minute shows. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos.
Right.
A lot of YouTube videos like, oh man, probably one of my favorite channels is In a Nutshell, Kurzgesagt. It's like this animated science show where they have all sorts of different, scientific, political, even absurd, but kind of using the laws of physics, like shows. Like one of them was what would happen if we, detonated all the nuclear bombs at once, and like they did calculations to figure out exactly. But what really sells it though, man, is the animation. The animation's solid. Yeah, dude, it keeps you engaged. And then
I remember seeing it was very different, but just triggered a memory of like I saw one of these like videos kind of like that, like how many times that Marv and Harry would have died if they really did all the stuff in Home Alone, like all, like there was like a tally going on, like it would have like, and it was like a scientific breakdown of like what would have really happened, like what the bones they would have broke if they, or what that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was really funny, just the fact that they took it to that extreme, and put that much thought into the proper scientific terminology and everything that would have happened. And
yeah, but you know what though, like the one show that the most recent show that'd be a regular like serial television show I watched was Workaholics today.
Oh, yeah.
That's a classic one.
For sure.
Oh, man, you know what? Those Netflix ones, Maniac. Did you see Maniac or A Russian Doll?
I don't think so.
Those blew my mind.
Yeah.
Both of those. And in different ways, but they blew my mind, man.
Yeah.
But it's really documentaries, random YouTube videos. Like I watched this conspiracy video, people saying that Jesus was a Buddhist monk. And there's like this temple that has like feet, looks like they should have been his feet if he had gotten crucified, and like all these people talking about it. If I would want to believe any conspiracy, man, I would want to believe that one. That would be crazy. But it would make a lot of sense too, right? Like whenever I like what little scholarly knowledge I have on the Bible or anything Buddhists really do. It seems like they add up pretty well.
Do you get in? You deep dive into those? Much of those, like different theories?
No, you know what? Most of them just bum me out.
Yeah.
Whenever I watch these conspiracy videos, I'm like, oh man, I feel bad for them. And a lot of these ones, I feel bad for them, man. Like they're just getting shit out of everybody.
What about that one? What about that one recently where that guy was like saying about recycling Chuck E. Cheese pizza? Did you see that one?
No.
Their claim was that because like there were so many of these pizzas like that didn't add up to be proper circle pizza, that Chuck E. Cheese takes the pizzas that you don't eat and puts it back together and makes a new pizza, or something like so like if you only eat like those 2 slices of your pepperoni pizza, instead of throwing them away, they put them back in another, make a fresh pepperoni pizza with it, and like I don't know. So there's like all like if you Google search images for Chuck E. Cheese pizza, there's like so many messed up looking ones, and like so they were trying to put the theory to the test. And
dude, I'm all over that. I would support that policy.
Yeah,
I would, dude. That just sounds like extra toppings for me, man. Like I got double pepperoni now. Yeah. Like I'll eat a kind of lukewarm pizza, man. Yeah. Like shit. I think who's got to go up there? It's not OSHA. It's was it USDA? They got to at least they got to check out the cheese, man.
Yep. I think you put enough cheese on there, nobody can tell the difference.
Hell yeah, dude. Sign me up, man. I'm cool with it. They should admit it and use it as a marketing tool, man. Like, they'd get guys like me, and it'd be like double topping pizzas. Fucking Chuck E. Cheese. You get guys like me, I say. Yeah. Like a grown man coming to Chuck E. Cheese for the pizza,
I just go for the band. I mean,
yeah. I'm here for the music.
There's my buddies. A big shout out to Anything But Credible podcast. They're buddies of mine. They do a different conspiracy theory every week and stuff, and it's a lot of fun to listen to them like talk about it. Like they don't try to like prove any of them or debate them, or they just kind of talk about them and laugh about how so it's just interesting though. There's a lot of them like they've been doing their show for a long time, and they've talked about a lot of stuff that I never heard anything about, but there's some ones definitely make you think about it and stuff. And
yeah. Did you see that Flat Earth documentary?
Nope.
It's a bummer, dude. Well, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. In its way.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a drag once you see like the regular people that are getting roped into all this crazy business. Like what's happening to them. It's a bit of a drag. But those guys are fucking wackadoos, man. They're hilarious. I would recommend that documentary too.
All right. To check it out. I was going to wonder, like, if like you were saying you didn't really get into it though, but I was wondering, my follow-up question would be if you had to pick a show, if there was anything that you would like to be in, like if there was a particular show that you sort of answered it with your YouTube, but I was wondering if there was anything else, like
a show I would be in.
If there was like would you like to be a member of the Workaholics house or something like that? Or,
I feel like I would thrive there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That'd be an interesting one. Although I feel like eventually just what I imagine the hygiene around there would be too much for me to handle. Like I get clutter, man, but I can't imagine what sort of bathroom situation those guys have.
That's probably why they stay on the roof so much.
Yeah, they're sleeping on the roof, man. They can't they gotta escape somehow.
Yeah.
What show would I want to be in though? That is tough, man. Is there?
Or even just Price is Right. I've always wanted to be on there. I thought,
You know what? I would love to fuck around on Jeopardy.
there you go.
Jeopardy was a good one. Like that was a classic after school, like pre-dinner, pre-Simpsons.
Yep.
Sort of. It was
Pre-Simpsons,
Like,
yeah,
it was
man.
like the Fox
Yep.
frame. You know, it was something like Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, like maybe King of the Hill.
Right.
The Simpsons, Malcolm in the Middle. That was
There
the
you go.
fucking jam. Dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what. You know what I would like? I would like to have a show where the main actors were all no-name actors, and then like all the extras in the background were like A-list celebrities.
Yeah.
I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Like you're watching this scene, and then like George Clooney or someone like just walked by.
Sure.
And so did fucking I don't know, LeBron James. And
Yeah.
then so did so on and so forth.
It's almost Entourage almost kind of did that, like they had all kinds of people stopping in and stuff, but yeah, I feel like you're saying you're more these people, you don't even acknowledge them though, like they're not even.
Yeah, no, they're not
yeah,
even in.
right.
Like they're not even really supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
Like they're not the story, man. Like these
Yeah.
people that no one's heard of. That's
Yeah.
that's what's supposed to be like focus on the camera lens. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, man. Well, yeah, that would be fun. Maybe we can make that happen.
Oh yeah, man! Please let me be a part of that. If you want to pursue that, I'll figure that. I'll do whatever I need to do to get in on that shit,
Yeah.
man. Oh, that shit's funny, dude.
All right. Well, you said you're working on the band and you got the loop stuff. But is there any plans to get in a studio and record, lay some of these down, or what's going on there?
Yeah, so I'm at a point where, other than Live Forever, that still needs to get the vocals and the lead guitar on there. All my songs have been recorded. I got my buddy, he's a producer in the area, GI, Gifted Ignorance. He has been helping me record my songs. And so now that we have them recorded, what I'd like to do is, go through them, listen to them, maybe fix like a little thing here or there. And I'd really like, like before summer, I feel like that I could release these songs, maybe release an album. I've been doing a lot of homework on how that works. Like I don't understand why you can't just post directly onto something like Spotify or Apple Music. Like, why do you got to go through a middleman? Unless I'm missing something, it seems like that's all you got to do. You got to go through a middleman, and then
I think
they distribute the music for you onto these platforms. Now, they also collect your check, but it's like, man, I don't even, like, why couldn't I collect my own checks? You know what I mean? I just don't know why it has to work out like that, but it seems that way.
I think everything you got, like CD Baby or TuneCore or whatever, these different things. But the same thing, like even with the podcast, like I use a service called Lipson, and that sends it out to all the different platforms and stuff. And it's just a database, an archive of all my shows. But yeah,
And what was that one on?
It's just for podcasting. But essentially, if you really wanted to, I bet you could pretty much do the same thing with a song. And
Like, I think if I released it to SoundCloud or something like that, I could probably upload directly.
yeah, you can do that. Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
or YouTube or whatever. But you can do that yourself.
and I'd really like to just really put it all on
right.
each platform as much as I can.
But I don't think you can. I don't think there's any way for you to do it yourself to put it on Spotify, as far as I know. Like,
Yeah, that sucks. I don't get. That's ridiculous.
some of the I also have like a screening process and stuff too. Like
Yeah, like you can't just put like a whole song of just like farts on there. Like they gotta.
It's like
gotta be
like
music at
Pandora.
some
It has to
point.
be like a
Is that
certain
music?
has to be like a certain quality and stuff too. Like and
Oh yeah,
things like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
so-
Like there's like, oh man, yeah. There's
you can't just have like shit.
it's got to be like a certain frequency or
Yeah.
something, 44.1 kilohertz,
Yeah,
baby,
there you
all
go.
the way, something like that. I don't know.
But
That's
is-
buttons to check.
Are these recordings just the acoustic? Or are you doing full band or looping? Or
So I've been recording them as I would as if I was looping them live. That's what this project's kind of all about. Where I got all this stuff so I could jam at home, and then I got to the point where I'm like, oh man, I could play this stuff out, and then I've been doing it, really focusing on just making it sound as good as I could make it. I've been hypercritical of my stuff. Jeez, for so long. I mean, shit, I told you I've been playing since I was 14 years old. Finally, the last couple years, I started playing enough where I was like, okay, this is good stuff. And so it's been a slow process recording these things, but afterward, at the end of it, I was thinking, well, I played all this stuff on the looper. That's how I got these songs to be where they're at. So that's where I wanted it to be. And so that whole theme, I'm going to try to carry through. I like all the songs to just kind of flow into each other, so that, if you did have the album on repeat mode on one of your platforms, it would just keep flowing. Like you would never hear like a break of, unless it's supposed to be in the in the composition. It's not gonna be like
right.
track 2.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that'd be cool, man.
Yeah, but man, I'm already thinking about what I could do next, and man, I'm excited for the band. Mm-hmm. These guys are just crazy talented. Like Devin, he's playing rhythm guitar, he's playing keyboard, he plays bass. I mean, classically trained dude. Like I think he's writing a syllabus right now or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And then, Adam's playing drums and guitar, and he's killing it. Fucking Jordan GI, fucking keyboard, just going nuts, man. These musicians are all so good. And then we got Andrew playing bass. Andrew, he plays for the Dolls too. He's all over the place, dude. He's with it, and he's just quick with like picking up a beat. Fucking yeah, just talented dudes. So whenever I play with like in this band, it's like, whoa, this like, I've jammed with a lot of people, but it's like, oh wow, okay, this could be something really cool. Right. And so we have some songs written that were intended to be written as the band, and hopefully we can get a few of those that we're happy with, and learn a few more covers, and we'll start playing a little bit more out.
Nice.
Yeah, we just need to tighten things up a little bit,
Hey, man.
But
I saw you like to share a lot of the set list from your gigs on your Facebook, Instagram, and stuff, and I saw there's Sun's Gonna Rise.
yeah, Citizen Cope.
Yeah. That's a good jam.
That is a good jam, man. Citizen Cope, he is the shit. I remember seeing him back in 2010 at Eric Clapton's Crossroads Blues Festival.
Yeah.
I'm sure he played Sun's Gonna Rise, because that song is the shit. Like, it just fucking jams, man. You can really go for as long as you want on that song. But one of my favorite songs that was played that night was Hands of the Saints. It was him, Eric Clapton, and Steve Winwood all up on stage. And Winwood's playing this organ like he's an angel, dude. Fucking Eric Clapton's doing his thing. And then, of course, Citizen Cope just bringing it all together.
Yeah. I think Steve didn't he was like 14 or some shit, wasn't he? Like when he like first started like singing or something. He was like super young.
Was he?
And like
holy shit.
like when all that stuff I don't know, maybe not 14, but whatever it was. I know he was like way young whenever like he really like started breaking big and stuff, and
That's nuts. I did not know
I don't
that.
know exactly the details on that, but like I know for sure he was. Let's see. Let's ask Google.
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah. That's what I need, man. I
Need a Jamie, dude.
Yep. Let's see. 15? Let's see. 71 now, born in 48. He was active, so it says he started singing or started performing in 63. So,
God damn.
Yeah, what's that? 15 years in? So, yeah, pretty crazy.
Fun killer.
Started with Spencer Davis Group and all that. So
Traffic, man.
yeah, Traffic. There you go. That's a good one. But yeah, that pretty wild stuff to think about, though.
Fucking what a time to be alive, man.
Yeah. But
Well, not for everybody,
yeah,
but those people were what they were doing was cool.
yeah. But yeah, so get involved. Find Sean Way 10.
Yes.
On your Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's more for jokes, but you'll see me doing the automated sharing, from Instagram onto there.
All right.
And then you got Facebook too.
Yep. And then, of course, again, come out to the Heavy Anchor on November 15th and off Broadway on November 17th.
It's gonna be a good weekend.
Yep. Gonna have us a rock and roll weekend.
That's right.
Yep. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's next for you and the band and everything else. So I'm excited for some tunes, man.
Yeah. Well, not stopping anytime soon. So
There we go.
buckle up.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you doing this.
I'm glad you came over, man.
It's been a lot of fun hanging. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. It was awesome chatting with you.
And I'm sure you'll be seeing me very soon at these shows coming up. So
Sweet, man.
yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
See you guys.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.